WWF have been waiting ever since our last event, ever since Holiday Fear, when we had the finals for the Inland Title Series.
You know what, Lalo? I have to say I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, Lalo, it's all right. Lalo's coming up right
Don't
now.
worry about it.
But again, these two great young athletes, the Young Bucks, they tore the place apart the last time they were here at the Knights of Columbus Hall, and they plan on doing that again, especially because it is all or nothing here. The winner in this matchup is going to be guaranteed a shot at the heavyweight championship.
Well, that's right, Larry. I mean, you're talking about tearing the roof off the place. That was a definite Match of the Year candidate in my book, Larry. I don't know about you and how your opinion goes. Definitely one of the matches of the year, one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Larry's opinion doesn't matter, Lalo.
Oh.
Did you figure that out yet?
Well, I'd like to think that my partner has something to say every now and again.
I like to think that too.
Yeah.
You guys, what is this?
What is what?
You guys joining forces over there, huh?
We're working together for what, over a year now?
Pretty much, yeah, going on a year.
Early, huh?
Well, United Forces is going to be coming in a couple of days.
Well, you know, speaking of United Forces,
And please, you don't remind me either, pal.
I'm just saying, speaking of United Forces, the Young Bucks are opponents now, but they have to team together along with Liger Rivera in a big six-man tag match at United Forces. But that's for another day, another time. Right now, we're worried about the Inland Title Series. We're worried about the here and now. Both of these men finished 2-1 in the ITS, and the winner, like you say, Larry, takes the whole thing today.
And we've all seen the great success the winner of the ITS tournament has seen out of all of our past winners. Joey Harder and Brandon Gatson won the round robin series and became the heavyweight champion shortly afterwards.
You know, you mentioning Joey Harder, that brings up, I don't know if you remember this, Joey Harder was a tag team champion when he won the Inland Title Series, and look at what happened to him, look what happened to that team.
Oh, that is definitely true. The Inland Title Series broke that team up. Essentially, this could happen here as well with the Young Bucks.
I guess we'll find out if blood is truly thicker than water.
We are definitely going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will, and of course, the Young Bucks, one of the greatest tag teams in professional wrestling today, traveling all over the world together. And you know, Larry, me and you said this at the last show. I mean, these guys travel together, they eat together, they stay in the same hotels together, they wrestle, they train together, everything together. And here they are, again, going hold for hold and move for move, just like last time, Larry.
Well, again, they know each other like the back of their hand, so you got to believe they're thinking at least 2 steps ahead of each other, and it's going to be difficult for them to try to get one single amount of offense. As we see a series of exchanges here, waistlock takedown by Matt, trying to float over, but Nick quickly reversing, and Matt reversing. Again, they're just going back and forth because they know each other so well.
And you hear the crowd roaring and applause and approval. I mean, that was just amazing. Amazing technical wrestling, amazing catch-as-catch-can wrestling. And like you said, this is going to be a chess match, Larry. The winner is going to be 10 moves ahead of the other and wait for that one big mistake. And that's all it took last time. Matt took his eye off the ball for a moment, and Nick rolled him up 1, 2, 3, and now we're in this situation.
Oh, that is true. All they need is one opportunity. All you need is 3 seconds to get a victory. And that is something Matt desperately needs to get. He thought he had his match won last time. He thought he had a coast, and he could have clinched his shot at the heavyweight championship, but Nick, out of nowhere, came out and became the man on top.
And right now, the man on top with that nice top wrist like applying. Wait a second, though. Matt bridging himself and now working his way back up, and now putting Nick down across his knee, now straight onto the mat.
And now is Nick, well, no, wait a minute. Nick's not going to manage to escape from that exchange, but he will from this. Look at his Hurricane Rana. Hurricane Rana from out of nowhere, and that forced Matt out at ringside.
You see Matt thoroughly frustrated already right at the get-go of this match. I mean, this is what the frustration that cost him the match last time, Larry. He was just, he had nothing left. He had no other offense to go to in order to try to put his brother away. And right now, that frustration is setting in early. I think that might be the momentum that Nick Jackson is carrying over from the last match.
Well, all the momentum is on the side of Nick Jackson because he has already proven himself to be able to beat Matt. Matt now has to be the one to force himself to prove to not only himself but to the fans as well that he can beat Slick Nick, his younger brother. He tried to do it right there, but we have a kick out, leg trip, and another cover, and another kick out. Look at this, a drop kick. Both men have the right idea. As we can see, again, they're thinking exactly the same thing at the exact same time.
It's like you two almost. You two are like the Young Bucks of announcing, except you're just, you know,
Bolder?
yeah, larger.
Oh, I'll give him
Still a
that.
compliment, I think.
I'll give him that.
I mean, if the Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world, hey, we're the best pair of announcers in the world, Larry.
Hey, I'll take that compliment. I'll take any compliment I can get from Dan the Man because he doesn't give them out that often.
You're just equally as bad. You know what I mean? As each other.
Oh, thank you for just ruining all that now.
They're both so good. They're equally matched. You two are just so bad, but yet you're equally matched. You know what I'm saying? You kind of look alike too.
Well, nothing bad about the brothers, the Jackson brothers here. As you see a shoulder tackle and now a leapfrog. Now look at them rolling over through the open legs of Nick Jackson. And now a springboard arm drag sending Matt Jackson to the outside.
And this was the momentum that Nick was having throughout his entire matchup the last time these two wrestled. And again, we're seeing signs of frustration from Matt once again. He cannot get over that he cannot amount a single amount of offense against his younger brother Nick at this point.
Well, he's here kicking the ring steps, taking all the time he can in order to collect his thoughts, in order to get his focus back. Oh, look at this now, just shoving his younger brother though, but not being one to back down, shoving them back. And look at this,
Backslide! Gets a 2 count, trying to go after him, got caught with a drop toe hold. Lamahe scroll cover coming up here. 1, 2. And Justin Morgan said that was only a 2.
Oh, look at Nick now, though, right now. All the momentum again in his favor. And he's letting Matt up. I don't know if that's a smart move, though.
And Matt meeting him with an open hand strike right across the face.
I think we got a fight on our hands now.
We have a fight. We're going to have a fight at the way things are going for Matt. Matt getting so frustrated that he cannot get, again, I've been saying this before, that he can't cleanly put him away. He may have to resort to some other tactics.
Yeah, but you know what? He's got to be careful, though, because a disqualification means that's the end of his Inland title series, and Nick Jackson will walk away with the win. Right now, Nick Jackson looks like he doesn't need a disqualification win, though. Look at this! Put him up from the top!
Matt, wait a minute, this time! This time Nick Jackson followed up after him. Matt thought he was able to duck away from Nick after going out at ringside.
Giving Matt Jackson absolutely not even a second to breathe or to even think who goes right after him.
He had to do it. He had to do that. Otherwise, Matt was just going to take another breather out at ringside and possibly kill some more momentum for Nick. Nick had the right idea going, and not only that, he completely caught Matt off guard on that. And again, that's part of thinking 2 steps, 3 steps ahead. Oh, but they were awfully close to being counted out there.
But how do you think ahead when you guys think alike? You know what I'm saying?
That's the difficult part between these two. That is probably why we're having so much frustration coming out of Matt, because he can't think that far ahead, because Nick may be thinking extra farther ahead.
I don't know the strategy right here of Nick Jackson. Why would he roll Matt back into the ring? That standing 10 count, they're already at, 9 3/4. He could have won the match right then and there. I think he wants to prove a point, though, Larry. I think he wants to prove that he may be the younger Jackson, but that he's the better Jackson in the middle of that ring.
Well, definitely some people may say, oh, you beat me once, that was a fluke. And definitely if you could beat me a second time, there's no way in heck that was a fluke. Already, I'm going to say that was not a fluke, but in the minds of Matt, he's going to say, yeah, that was totally a fluke.
Paulo, are you trying to say he's trying to prove that he's the Michael of the Jacksons? Huh?
Wow.
You know where I'm going.
That was good. That was good.
I'm good.
I got to give you that
It's
one.
this monster I'm drinking.
Monsters are tasty.
Suddenly energy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, son.
Well,
I'm
Ryan,
good right now.
I'm glad.
I was a little slow in the first match.
You know, it's holiday season. It's my birthday today, as a matter of fact. It's a time for celebration. And right now, Nick Jackson looks like he's going to celebrate with a victory. Look at that. What would you even call that, Larry?
I would have to call that a inverted reverse cravat.
I would call it something neither of you two could do.
Not have to give him that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do it.
We'll have to wait and see. We can wait just 2 days. We'll wait in 2 days and see if you can.
Like I said, I don't even want to talk about it.
Big suplex by Slick Nick, taking down his older brother Matt once again, now going for the cover. Hooks the leg again and can't put him away.
But I am curious at United Forces to see how these two, team together after this, after whatever is going to happen tonight.
You know, a lot of people can think 2 days ahead and think about United Forces and see how well they're going to team up together. They're still tag team champions in other territories across the country and across the world. How are they going to manage to hold on to those tag team titles if they can't get their act together after this matchup tonight? That's a question I want to know. But I also want to know which one of these two is going to become the #1 contender to the heavyweight championship. And we're going to find out right a little bit later in this matchup.
Well, you saw Nick Jackson going for that patented Young Bucks handspring dropkick move that it's a tandem move. You saw it had not having the same kind of impact as it does when one person does it. Matt Jackson able to kick out at a 2 count. but Nick Jackson staying right on top of Matt, like Cobra said a minute ago, not giving him any room to breathe. Oh, and a nice arm breaker right across the shoulder blades. And look at this, going for it again. Just wrenching and cracking that elbow joint right across the back.
Dropped him again and across the arm, now trying to switch it up here. We have a cross arm breaker and he's in the center of the ring. Matt is trying to alleviate the pressure again by trying to clasp his hands together. And Nick is fighting for it, fighting to get the hold secured. Oh, but in that exchange he had to force a break. I think Matt had to rake the eyes of Nick in order to break the hold.
Well, Matt Jackson's going to do anything he possibly can, but like I told you earlier, he's got to be careful not to break the rules blatantly in front of that referee. And of course, Justin Borden always on top of the tier of the Empire Wrestling Federation. A disqualification would be deadly for Matt Jackson, as it would give the ITS win and the #1 contendership to Nick Jackson.
Well, it was a disqualification that cost Johnny Paradise a shot at the Inland Title Series. Again, I mean, his record was tied with Nick Jackson as of last week, but got himself disqualified against Jeremy Yeager. That virtually took him out of the running.
Definitely mathematically eliminated him, and then gave Nick Jackson the opportunity, as you see him trying to go for that Fujiwara armbar, trying to break the hold of his brother, and there he almost had it locked in, but his brother kicking him right across the head, breaking out of that hold.
Well, again, Matt had to desperately do whatever he could to break the hold. That arm has definitely suffered a lot of damage in this matchup, and the more times that Nick goes for that submission on that arm, it's going to be more fatal for him later on in this matchup. Again, going back to work this time with that variation of the top wrist lock, trying to wring out the arm. And again, in the standing position, Matt almost went down to one knee and is almost staying there. Oh, wait a minute, Nick now trying to go for some high-risk offense again, but Matt just shoved him off the top rope.
Oh, Nick Jackson going face first in that apron, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing there. The metal support beam of the ring that holds it up.
Oh no, I think there's a little bit of Nick Jackson's face on there right now.
Well, there very well might be after that impact. I mean, goodness, we could feel it reverberate all the way up here.
I think his teeth. I think I can see his teeth just laying there from here.
Oh, that's disgusting, Cobra.
Oh, another shot right across the face by Matt as Nick was trying to come in. And it's Matt who's going to take flight here. Drop kick right through those ropes, knocking out his younger brother at ringside.
Oh, but you see him still favoring that left arm, Larry. I don't know that it was wise to go through those ropes and hold his weight up with that damaged arm. He might have hurt himself a little bit on that one, too.
Well, definitely that arm is going to be the new handicap in this matchup for Matt. And Matt is trying to work through that handicap, trying to work through that pain because, again, this is an all-or-nothing situation. He desperately needs to win in order to become the #1 contender for the heavyweight championship.
You know, I gotta be honest, I kind of feel bad for Matt Jackson.
You actually feel bad for
I
Matt?
feel bad for him. I mean, this is his brother, and what's his brother trying to do? Injure him. You know, Matt Jackson's having a wrestling match, and his brother's over there stomping on his arm and trying to break it. What is that, Larry?
Well,
they're brothers.
Yeah, but
nonetheless, they're brothers.
Nonetheless, they're brothers. That is true. But again, Matt was using some illegal tactics, if you will. They were having a nice, clean wrestling contest until Matt had to go and slap him across the face, trying to wake him up and say, "Hey, I'm not going to tolerate this from you." All Nick is doing is fighting back. All Nick is saying is, "I'm not intimidated by you, older brother or not, tag team partner or
So he tries
not."
to break his arm?
Well, Matt could try to break the arm as well.
Matt didn't, did he?
No, he hasn't had a
There
chance
you
to
go,
go.
because that's his brother, and he wouldn't do that.
Well, he hasn't had a chance to do that yet.
No, it's upsetting me a little bit.
And those forearm shots are upsetting Nick, that's for sure. Oh, wait a minute, drop kick! Follows up with a spinning wheel kick. This matchup is definitely upsetting Mama and Papa Jackson, and we have a cover and a 2 count. Nick,
That's the other thing.
Well, they see Nick Jackson now trying to get the crowd involved, going up to the top. Oh! Matt Jackson holding his boot up, and Nick going face first into it. There's a cover, hook of the leg. Only a 2 count, though.
definitely wasn't enough to put him away, but it was definitely enough to make him groggy, dazed, and confused, and now Matt has to capitalize. He has a chance to capitalize. He has a chance to try to break his arm, Dan Covert.
Yeah, but he's not.
We'll have to wait and see.
There you go.
We have to wait and see. And right now, Nick is in trouble as he's trying to get some air back into his lungs. Matt trying to stay on top of him so he can't get some air into those lungs. Sends him into the corner. Sends him hard as we just saw him fly out of that corner and back onto the ground. What great impact he suffered in that corner. Matt now trying to climb up to the middle ropes there. I don't think that's a wise decision on his part. He's taking too much time allowing Nick to get back up onto his feet. He needs to stay on top of Nick. Matt measuring him here, nails him with an elbow right across the back of the neck. Now goes for the cover, hooks the leg, 1, 2. Gets a 2 count off that elbow.
Well, now look at Matt Jackson. Oh, come on, we saw this last time. Look at that, playing those mind games with his
It's
brother.
just as funny this time as it was last time.
That's just sick.
I don't see how you can think that's funny. I don't think that's funny.
You got no sense of humor, clearly.
Oh, look at Nick Jackson.
Now that's not funny.
Playing a joke of his own on his brother.
Holy crap! Tope con heel over the top rope onto the floor again by Nick Jackson, taking out his brother Matt.
I think they may have gave a heart attack to the lady in the front row.
I almost had a heart attack. I think Jesse almost had a heart attack on that one.
Are you kidding? Could you imagine the insurance costs if you would have hit the person in the front row? You know Jesse and money.
That would have been an additional heart attack for Jesse. And somehow Nick manages to get back up onto his feet and throw his brother Matt back into the ring.
I gotta point out, he went for the arm again, Larry. I mean, this is totally unfair. That's not right.
Oh, he threw him back in by the arm. But now he's not going for the arm as he's climbing up to the top rope, trying to go for possibly that senton bomb, but could not connect. Matt now catching him, sets him up here, power bomb perhaps. Liger bomb in the corner again. He did this to his brother last week, back at Holiday Fear, and he did it to him again here tonight.
Oh, come on, you're talking about not trying to injure your brother, Colbert? What do you think Matt did right there? He's just trying to end his brother's career.
Oh, I'm sorry. When a man tries to break your arm multiple times, you gotta fight back. Wow.
Now it's acceptable.
Yeah, the man's defending himself. What do you want him to stand there?
I don't understand. No, I don't. Sometimes I don't get you.
I don't get you.
Well, right now, Justin Board and the Ministry of that standing 10 count, already up to 7. Matt Jackson on the verge of winning the Inland title series, unless Nick Jackson can get his way back into the ring, and he does at the very last possible moment. Oh, but Matt Jackson not giving him any time to breathe, just pouncing on his brother and stomping away. Now look at him pounding away with forearms and shots right to the kidneys, Larry.
Well, it's clear now. We see the point of attack by Matt Jackson. He has targeted the kidneys and the lower back area of Slick Nick, similar to the way Nick had targeted the arm of Matt earlier in this matchup. Matt's still trying to shake up the cobwebs, but feels that he has all the momentum now going in his favor. Snap mirrors him down and ties him back up here into the reverse chinlock. He needed that breather. And now at the same time of taking this breather for himself, he's taking the breath away from Nick. Has a chance now to think up some new strategy, some new moves, some new points of attack onto his younger brother Nick. And again, Nick trying to get back up onto his feet. Trying to alleviate that pressure, and he manages to do so. So far, he's halfway there. Throws an elbow, throws a second one into the midsection. Finally breaks a hole, comes off the ropes. But he got caught, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Matt now going for the cover, hooks the leg, and almost became the #1 contender.
Well, you see Matt Jackson complaining to referee Justin Bourne. He thought that was 3. It just about was 2, Larry. That tilt-a-whirl backbreaker almost killing Slick Nick Jackson. But look at this. Didn't kill his spirit as he's fighting back. Another knife-edge chop right across the chest.
Matt now trying to fight back, but Nick meeting him with every shot. A series of them now. Vicious chop by Matt.
You know, I got a question. Do these guys know who the heavyweight champion is?
I think they're very well aware
Why
that
would they be fighting this hard to get in the ring with a monster black metal?
because that is their competitive spirit.
They don't care who the champion is.
That's what it is.
No, Colbert, they don't care who the champion is. All they care about is that prestigious title. You've held it before. You know what it means to a professional wrestler to become the EWF Heavyweight Champion. And you see Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson fighting tooth and nail to become just the #1 contender for that title. And we almost saw Matt Jackson become the #1 contender.
Matt now picks him right back up, drops him down again in another backbreaker. And now look at this, grinding the elbow in, it looks like into the throat of Nick Jackson.
That's a choke if that's where it's at, Larry. Oh, it must not be though. Justin Borden saying that it's legal. Oh, that's not legal. They're pulling the hair. Nick Jackson doing everything he can to try to get out of this hole, and you hear Matt just pounding away on his ribs and his stomach. Oh, come on now.
Come on now, the guy was pulling his freaking hair. What's wrong with you, Lalo?
So he rakes him in the eyes. That two wrongs
He
don't
was
make a
pulling
right.
his hair, Lalo. You know, Nick Jackson wants to fight like they're in kindergarten again. All right, this is a fight.
Well, these two brothers have been fighting since birth. You stole my G.I. Joe, so I'm going to break your Lego set. I mean, this goes back a long way, sibling rivalry, going back a lot of years, and now these two taking it to the ring here in the Empire Wrestling Federation.
You've known him for that long, Lalo?
Everybody has a younger sibling or an older sibling, and that's exactly how they are. Larry, I know you have younger brothers.
And we've had wars over G.I. Joes and Lego sets in the past.
Was it anything like this, Larry?
No, not quite. Did not quite happen. Did not quite happen in a 20 by 20 foot ring. That's for sure.
That'd have been interesting at Christmas, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, it was.
Imagine what kind of gifts these guys got each other for the next couple days.
Well, definitely my fight for Christmas was definitely different, but this is definitely the fight EWF is presenting before Christmas here for the #1 contendership for the heavyweight championship. Nick now coming off the ropes, but he got caught by Matt with a forearm. And another elbow, this time by Nick. Nick coming charging off the ropes. Wait a minute, could he see? Oh my God! I thought we were gonna see the worst case scenario. Instead, he floors him with that ace crusher.
I'm pretty sure that was the worst case scenario.
It was a worst case scenario for Matt.
Exactly.
But look at this, no one can go for the cover. They've spent so much energy trying to get this going for... And we're already at 5 now on the standing 10 count from Justin Borden. Both men again struggling to get back up to their feet. It looks like it's going to be Matt to his feet first. Try to go for a clothesline. Nick meets him. Vicious shot again across the face. Throws him back into those ropes one more time. Knocks him down with a clothesline. Follows it up with a back elbow. Brings him right back up. And knocks him down with the enziguri. Oh, wait a minute. Double underhook here. Will this be over? Tiger driver. 1, 2. Oh! Almost put him away with that Tiger driver. He was about a hair's length away from becoming the #1 contender.
Well, they see now a hard Irish rip into the corner. Oh, look at this, Matt Jackson getting the wherewithal to put up an elbow. Now leapfrogging over his brother, going for that cutter again. Nick Jackson
trying to go for the tornado DDT, didn't quite get him the way he wanted. Leapfrogs over him. Oh my God, kicks him right across the face.
Almost a knee to the side of the head, but look at Nick still out of it.
Well, Matt Jackson completely out of it, almost knocked unconscious with that knee right to the temple. Nick Jackson has to get to the top rope and take advantage of this. And you see him trying to climb up there. Wait a second!
He took too much time to get back up there. Matt possibly playing a little bit of possum to get him right where he wants him here for the superplex. Nick trying to fight out of it though, trying to knock him off. Headbutt, and that will do it. Matt now is planned perfectly for Nick on the 450 splash. If he can nail it here, changes it up into a body press splash. 1, 2.
Oh, wow.
I thought he had it right there. I thought he had it.
Well, Nick Jackson usually trying to hit that 450 splash from up there, changing it up though, literally spinning 180 degrees in the air, and then hitting his brother with that splash. Oh!
Nails him with a kick, but look at this, Nick charging off the ropes again, and he just got speared by his older brother. Hooks the leg for the cover. Gets a 2 count again.
Oh, how much more do these guys got left? I mean, they fought a war last time. I mean, this is, if that was World War I, this is definitely World War II, Larry.
What is there left? I mean, what possibly could they do?
I think Matt may be setting up. I thought he was going to set up for the worst case scenario. He hasn't applied his yet to Nick. Charging after him in the corner. Nick throws him over. Nick nails him with a drop kick. And that sends Matt up on the apron, but he's back up onto the apron now.
He's coming.
Oh my God, can we see a powerbomb here? No, Matt counters. Went for the leg drop. Landed on nothing but ring apron, and he just got his face kicked right into him. Nick with a Yakuza kick. I gotta believe he may have broken the nose of Matt Jackson.
If that's the least of what he might have done, Nick Jackson might have just damn near killed his brother.
Going back up to the top rope again. 450 splash, there it is. Hooks the leg. We're gonna have a new #1. No, we're not having it yet.
What in the hell does Nick Nick Jackson have to do? Nah, screw that. What the hell do these guys got to do to finish this match, period, Larry?
Nick is now showing signs of frustration, the same frustration Matt was having in their last match back at Holiday Fear. I do not like the way things are going for Nick now. Nick needs to keep his cool if he wants to become the #1 contender.
I don't like how things look for either one of these guys, Larry. What? They might be leaving. I mean, this could be career-threatening. Do you see what they're doing to each other?
They're beating the holy hell out of each other.
And they have to compete in 2 days with each other.
I don't know how that's going to be possible. I don't know how, not only mentally, but how are they physically going to be able to do that?
Oh, super kick out of nowhere by... Hey, wait a minute, Nick with a super kick of his own.
And they're both down, Larry.
I think they just knocked each other out. Nick just had barely enough energy to nail that super kick before he fell down.
It was almost out of instinct that he did that, Larry. Like a nervous reaction or a muscle reflex, if anything.
And they were trying to literally match each other move for move in that exchange. Look at this, they're back up onto their feet now. And now they're trading forearms with each other in the center of the ring. Oh, clocked him with that one, but Matt's saying, that's it for you. After a series of forearm shots, charges after him, got caught with a back elbow. Nick going back to the ropes again. We've seen this before. Slingshots into the face crusher. Got caught into the Boston Crab.
Look at Matt Jackson walking him into the center of that ring, Larry. He's got it cinched in tight. Look at him, he's got all his weight put back. He's got that Boston Crab locked in tight in the middle of that ring. Justin Borden right on top of things. Nick is gonna tap, Larry, he's gonna tap.
Very smart by Matt Jackson. The impact moves haven't been helping, so he slaps on a submission.
Oh, wait a minute, that submissional should be break, but Matt's still holding on for dear life. Nick misses the clothesline. Nick gets caught here. Worst case scenario coming up here. He just got planted. This will be a 1, 2.
Oh
What?
my God!
I thought that was 3. That had it. Oh, that was a 3.
Apparently not. Justin Borden saying no, that was only 2. How that was only 2, I have no idea.
And he's going back to the Boston Crab. He's gone back to the Boston Crab. The worst case scenario did not work for him, but this Boston Crab could.
Oh, look at the pain in the eyes of Nick Jackson. He is in excruciating pain. His brother is just, wait a second, no. He's trying to roll him back over.
He managed to roll him over. Now goes for the cover, flips over. With the bridge, but man now breaking the bridge. Going into the backside for another cover. We have 2. And a kick out again. Nick missing a clothesline. Gets caught, but lands on his feet out of the backdrop suplex. Here comes the Boston Crab one more time. Has it cinched in for a 3rd time.
Oh, this has got to be it, Larry. Who was ever putting 3 Boston Crabs in one match for the length that Nick Jackson has been putting them and being able to walk away, period. Not just the winner or loser, but period.
I've seen matches where people are just putting the Boston Crab once and the match is over. And now, wait a minute.
Still fighting back.
They're still fighting back. Nick now floating over. Got caught with a power bomb by his brother Matt. Gets a 2 count. And one more time. Trying to hook in that Boston Crab.
Well, Matt Jackson has a variation of it, but look at how much higher up he's sitting. It's almost as if he's sitting on his shoulder blades, Larry. God, that cannot be comfortable. It's going to be one of the most painful things ever. And look at that. Now cinching in that single leg crab.
Well, he felt he didn't have quite a great grip on that Boston Crab earlier, so instead switches it up to a grip he has. Look at this, he has the arm that Nick was trying to use to reach for the ropes.
I think we have a winner, Larry.
Oh, it's almost academic now. There's no way that he can get out of this. He can't reach the ropes. He is tied up as like a pretzel, Larry.
I think we have an Inland Title Series winner, Lalo.
You know, I usually don't make those kind of calls until I hear the bell, but I think you're right. I think it's just a matter of time now until Matt's declared the winner.
Nick's not over yet. He still has 1 arm left. He can still reach. He has to crawl his way to those ropes if he wants to break this hold.
He's not going to make it, Larry. It is over.
Justin Borden right there to check to see if he wants to give it up. Oh, no.
Oh, Matt Jackson relinquishing the hold of that arm and then wrenching him back into the middle of the ring. Come on, Nick. You know you want it. Come on, don't give up.
Don't give up, Lalo. You out of your freaking mind? He's going to tear this man in half if he doesn't give up.
Oh, come on, though. That AEW Heavyweight Championship is more than enough motivation to keep fighting. Look at Nick. He is still fighting. He is still clawing. He is trying. Look at this. Matt Jackson now exhausting himself with that Boston Crab.
Wait a minute, what just happened? The bell just rang?
The bell rang.
Did we have a submission out of that?
No, I think
Well, Lalo just left the broadcast position to go check with the official. I didn't see a submission or a tap out, did you?
he definitely let go before the bell rang.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, the match went the full 20-minute time limit. This match ruled a draw.
what?
Therefore, the Inland Title Series remains tied. Their records now stand: Matt Jackson 2-1-1, and Nick Jackson 2-1-1.
Wait a minute. They went the full extent of the time limit. They went to the full extent of the time limit, but I'm just being informed that it was a 30-minute time limit.
This family may be officially torn apart. I mean, 2 matches. They've done everything they possibly can do to each other, and it's still not solved. We don't have a winner.
This is definitely a first. We have never had a situation where we haven't had where we had the tie still happen after the tiebreaker match.